Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines this morning here and take a look at this bleeding market while we run them down. The SEC versus Ripple. We got some more information here. We need to level set. We got Cardano in the news. XRP flipping Solana. Yeah, it happened. One of the largest banks in the Philippines in crypto. And how about tokenized bonds? How about an executive order from the United States? We're going to take a look at that. And we're also going to take a look at a bank with $139 billion in sales and 68.5 million customers. And guess what they've got in common? RippleNet and XRP for settlement. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackUpBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. $1.532 trillion market cap, bleeding heavily this morning. A little bit of money came back in the market. We were off more than 9% at about 5 o'clock this morning Eastern time. A couple hours later, we're off by 7+. So I wouldn't get too excited. But right now, Bitcoin 33,700 plus, Ethereum 2,200 plus. We see right here that the Cardano is at 99 cents right now, off by more than 34% on the 7-day. XRP is 57 cents, and it flipped Solana in market cap. And right now is off by 25+% on the 7-day, 7+ on that in the 24-hour. And we see Solana right now at $84. I haven't seen that price for Solana in quite a long time here. 40+% on the 7-day and 17+ on the 24-hour. That's where we are this morning. The price range for XRP right now is 0.5654 on the bottom and 0.6393 on the top side. We'll keep an eye on it. I tell you, lots going on out here, and the numbers are brought to you by Link2.com. Private investing made simple. Invest in Ripple with your Uphold wallet today and receive $1,500 worth of Bitcoin. Or invest in any other Link2 offering and receive $1,000 worth of XRP in your Uphold wallet. So lots of great specials going on. The month is closing out. Things do not last long on that platform. And with this kind of price suppression, I know what I'm doing. Not financial advice. I'm buying every bit of dip I can possibly buy. Right now, we're looking at this right now, 399 days plus in the American crypto innovation under siege, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, when is something going to be done with the case and legislation here in the United States to unleash the innovation for blockchain and cryptocurrencies here in this country? I do believe we have an opportunity this year to get it done. Looking right here, Telegram crypto project resurfaces. You know, Telegram was looking to put a coin out, got stopped by the SEC. It does appear, I'm not going to read the article to you, but shout out to ProCoin News, that it does appear that they are working to get back into that game without getting into the crosshairs of the SEC. We'll keep you up to date as it develops here. As a result of this level of scalability, Cardano recorded this month both higher volume and 500 times cheaper fees than Ethereum when the adjusted volume was taken into consideration. This is the kind of problems that Ethereum is up against, regardless of the what appears to be appearance of impropriety and conflict of interest from William Hinman and possibly Jay Clayton at the SEC at their tenure. So Ethereum has some real competition out here that is absolutely going to be a killer if they can't get these gas fees under control. And here we see also XRP, regardless of the lawsuit that's hanging over their head, this bear market, well, I don't want to say a bear market, but this bearish moment that we are in right now, we see XRP surpassed Solana by market capitalization, sitting in the 7th place now, and Solana slips below XRP as the network suffers another outage. This is a problem too. XRP network never suffers any outages. We know that it did lock up not long ago, but nevertheless, point taken right there. Here's another point taken. Listen to this thread. It's very quick, but it really shows the absurdity of what the SEC is doing now. and leave it to John Deaton to point it out. Using the XRP ledger to solve the Bitcoin problem. What's the Bitcoin problem? It's slow and it's expensive. Bitcoin maxis look to Lightning Network as a layer 2 solution for the Bitcoin problem, which says that you can move it for free, but something's got to be paid for somewhere to get it done, right? So I got to know more about that. But here he says, in my opinion, Jay SpendBits has developed a better solution with SpendBits utilizing the XRP ledger. I have said many times for many years on this channel, everything runs on the ledger. I do not mean that there's one protocol to rule them all. That's not what I mean when I say that. Even though I know it sounds like that, you could take the inference out of that, but that's not what I mean. What I mean is that it is so efficient. Why would you not put pre-mined Bitcoin on the ledger in some way, equity pool, however you want to do it, and use that ledger because you know it's so efficient and cost effective to use. We also know that Chris Larson has also talked about Bitcoin needing to move to proof of stake and navigate away from proof of work. But to go on with John Deaton's thread very quickly, just as Chris Larson has demonstrated using XRP to send Bitcoin, Spend the Bits allows you to spend your Bitcoin in seconds securely, practically free. For example, Spend the Bits can move $10 million worth of Bitcoin for 0.000005. How about that? How about that? That's incredible. Listen to this. He says, watch the demonstration here. What's insanely absurd is the SEC is claiming that Bitcoin you spend or move is not a security, but the 0.000005 XRP that is used to transfer the spend Bitcoin is a security. Wrap your head around that argument. And absolutely great point by John Deaton here. And here's an article here that I just want to show very quickly to level set, because we're going to show you some information I believe that helps to understand what the process of this court case is more than likely about here. And what I believe here is that if you look at this Ripple versus SEC, here's why the SEC requested an extension, as we covered going into the weekend and through the weekend, and reconsideration of the DPP. The court ruling was in fact that SEC has to cough up a document or two to Ripple. It wasn't as many as we were all hoping would be considered to be worth giving up to Ripple, but nevertheless, the SEC must feel like it is pretty damning information, because take a look at this. It is worth noting that the contents of the speech that William Hinman gave was considered crucial to the case, as it includes the director's personal views of Ether not being a security. Now, looks like the SEC is buying time for the handover of this draft by seeking partial reconsideration of the order despite Ripple's objection. It goes on to say with that the SEC has also filed an extension with Judge Torres as a part of its second motion. Lawyer James K. Filan explained that what the SEC is doing is asking Judge Torres to wait until 21 days after Judge Netburn rules on the motion for reconsideration before the SEC must file its objections directly to Judge Torres. Since all motions for reconsiderations and objections have to be filed within 14 days of the original ruling, the regulator is asking for more time. Filing commented this: the SEC is desperately trying not to have to turn over the documents to Ripple. That's what's happening. Meanwhile, John Deaton, the lawyer who represents XRP holders in the lawsuit, hopes the SEC motion is denied. He says, I really hope Judge Netburn denies this motion. He stated it was settled that Hinman's speech was his personal opinion and not an SEC pre-decisional deliberation, and therefore not covered by the DPP, allowing this would reward the SEC to talk out both sides of their mouth. It goes on to say in this, as far as looking at the price, because of suppression of this case, that even though we're recording lows between 50 and 60 cent range that we've reported already this morning, we know that the token's weakness is evident since November last year, before XRP touched $1.34. Crypto analyst to Crypto General had noted some time back that XRP's price is currently consolidating in a potential symmetrical triangle. However, analysts see the price rallying to $2.31 once the breakout of the symmetrical triangle is confirmed for the altcoin. Wouldn't that be nice? A $2.31 XRP on the short term, right? Be very, very nice. So take a look at this. Now, this goes into the ruling that the judge has made about William Hinman's speech being his personal opinion. Take a look at this. I said exactly. This is Eleanor Terrett from Fox Business News. Shout out to her. Shout out to Charles Gasparino, Liz Clayman. Listen to some of this clip where William Hinman, and after his decision, is saying we at the SEC. We. Who is we if not the SEC? Eleanor Terrett asks, as we have done on this channel many, many times. Take a quick listen here.
So you said in your speech that neither Bitcoin nor Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC. Can you very briefly explain what your reasoning is?
Sure, Bob. These are complex.
And by the way, he asked the question as asking it of the agency's decision. That's the way the question is asked. Listen to it again.
Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC. Can you very briefly...
And not under the purview of the SEC. He's asking not your personal opinion, but how the SEC views Ether. And he goes on to answer without even addressing the fact that it's his personal opinion.
Briefly explain what your reasoning is.
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So
we don't see a third-party disclosure, but yet they were meeting with Joseph Lubin and others from Consensus and Ethereum founders to figure out how they were going to draft this letter to say that it was not a security. So that is not really truthful right there, right?
We're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as securities.
Now, you also talked about initial coin offerings or ICOs, which are ways of raising money using cryptocurrencies. Did you use a similar reasoning? You implied that most seem to be securities, ICOs, but some of them are not. Can you just show us what the difference is simply?
I wish we had a simple way to say this is in and this is out. As I mentioned, they're usually facts and circumstances tests.
I wish we had a certain way. It goes on to do this for the rest of the 4 minutes. And that's the problem here. And I have to say, look, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't ever have to stand in Judge Torres or Net Burns' courtroom. This is a problem here. Right. But I'll tell you what, where it becomes a real big problem here. It becomes an even bigger problem for William Hinman, because he's the one that came out and decided to be the puppet for this speech and to declare what is now considered we as a personal opinion. And now we has got a lot of explaining to do. Right. So this is going to get interesting here, because I am really, really hopeful that John Deaton gets to follow through with his class action lawsuit and gets subpoena power so he can call William Hinman in to talk about who the hell we actually is. Now, let's take a look here, because we're going to change gears, and we got something for you here coming up in just a second. And it's Synchrony Bank, a massive bank with massive, massive customer base. And we're going to show you a patent that shows that RippleNet and XRP are going to help with settlement. And it's unbelievable. Ripple partner Union Bank of Philippines to offer crypto trading and custodial services. It says here, if you go into it very quickly here, Ripple partner, right? But remember that, right? So here's the big part of this. If you go into it, on Thursday, Mataco, a provider of security software and infrastructure for digital assets ecosystem, announced that Union Bank, one of the largest banks in the Philippines, its digital asset management services. Mataco added that Union Bank is deploying services on IBM Cloud. The banks first announced that it was piloting a crypto custody service in August last year, noting at that time that the crypto assets are here to stay. Casas noted that the bank's custodial services for digital assets will include tokenized bonds. Come on in. Yeah, that's huge. Taking a look this morning at what the gas fees are at 6:40 a.m. Eastern Time, just a little less than an hour ago here. $8.99 on the low side to $98.43 plus for an Ethereum transaction. Solana coming in now at 69 cents to $3.18 for an NFT transaction. Look at these. Bitcoin, $12. Look at XRP and XLM. This is more evidence to me that if we're really going to see a fourth industrial revolution that incorporates the use of blockchain payment networks and protocols and decentralized exchanges and native tokens that go with those, we're going to need to see a real solution. And these are real solutions here. There's no doubt about it. Taking a look here, and here's even more evidence of a real solution. Shout out to Native Knox is who I first saw this from on TikTok. Shout out to you, my friend. Synchrony Bank, $169 billion in sales, 68.5 million users, and a patent that shows the intent to use RippleNet and XRP to help settle payments. Guess who's buying the dip? Yep, me. Not financial advice. Take a look at this. This is from Synchrony's website right here. $139 billion in sales finance, 68.5 million active customers. Synchrony brings deep industry expertise, actionable data, insights, innovation, and solutions differentiated from digital experiences to improve the success of everyday business or every business we serve and the quality of each life we touch. Now, you talk about the kind of businesses they're serving. It's massive. We're going to take a look at that in just a second here, but take a look at this. This is the actual patent and the patent number. The link is in the tweet itself, right? So you can take a look at that. There's the thing there. Let me go this way right here. And if you take a look at this, this is one of the sections in the patent here that says clearly, the novate obligation flow can be called to facilitate obtaining exchange rates between different currencies. For example, when changing between fiat currencies like USD to cryptocurrencies like XRP, Party B can request the USD to XRP exchange rate from an oracle and update the transaction. The transaction can then be signed by a notary cluster and distributed to the other party. It also goes on to say here, embodiment of the system can assist in settling transactions. The system can act as a bridge that connects users and merchants to external payment rails. The system can also connect to traditional payment rails via VisaNet, BankNet, or new rails such as RippleNet that utilize a blockchain. The following are flows that can be utilized to run transaction. This is what is going on while this case is happening. This is what is going on while the market is bleeding heavily right now. You don't see any of these companies backing down. These companies are doubling down. This is the actual website we pulled that from. You can see here, this is a list of the 116 Synchrony store credit cards, and they include, listen, they include Walmart, Chevron, Lowe's, PayPal, eBay, Sam's Club, MasterCard, Old Navy, Gap, Nissan, Visa, Verizon. The list goes on and on, ladies and gentlemen. It is remarkable what you're looking at here. So this is what we're talking about. This is the actual patent itself you can go to. Again, shout out to Native Knox. And this is where we see the sections in the patent, just to show you proofs in the pudding. We did the work. Here it is. RippleNet, new rails such as RippleNet. Come down here just a little bit here, and it brings you right to it. For example, right here. It says it right here. For currencies like USD, cryptocurrencies like XRP, Party B can request USD XRP exchange rate from an oracle and update the transaction. The transaction can be signed by a notary cluster and distributed to the other party. When I think of this kind of information and what we're finding here, what I see is the potential for a flip the switch moment, just as not I have said a million times on the channel, which I have, but as Brad Garlinghouse said in the most recent Swell event, in the video clip we've played for you there. When clients and customers are ready and that moment is there and the clarity's there, paraphrasing, they can flip the switch to on-demand liquidity just as it's laid out in the Synchrony patent. And then we know that there's a Ripple private ledger for central banks, which tells me that that's what this case is really about here. The case, as much as it's covered, look, as much as we've seen all the wrongdoing that it appears of it from Ethereum and some of the SEC officials there, we are seeing what I believe is a real legal process to get to legal clarity And albeit whether we get it from this case or the SEC drops it and we get legislation from Congress, some way, somehow, we're going to get clarity. Or maybe it's even the president's working group and the U.S. Treasury that does it, because they could lay down some clarity for us too without needing Congress's approval. One thing I do know is that although it feels like the market is not just stuck, but falling like a manhole cover from the sky, the Biden administration to release the executive order we covered over the weekend in February, as early as February, to do studies, take questions and directives from different federal agencies to try to sort this mess out when it comes to a lack of clarity and how to regulate these digital assets going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me. That's straight fire today. Yeah, January 24th, 2022. Hit that like and subscribe, leave a comment below, and share with somebody you know. Check out all the links in the description and comment box. They are great products and services I use each and every day. And I don't mind telling you, I use those products and I share them because I use them. And I know that a lot of people out here are looking for them too. And they are trusted, vetted links that you can click on. I'll catch all of you on the next one.